Hey, Fearless Follower. Pastor Aaron here with your Fearless Word of the Day. Today we're in Ruth chapter 4 as Boaz approaches Ruth's closest living relative. And yesterday we talked about how he approached that person and said, hey, you're the one who is the closest relative. You should, marry Ruth and redeem the land and take care of Naomi and Ruth. And today we're starting in verse 7 and it says this. Now, in earlier times in Israel, for the redemption and transfer of property to become final, one party took off his sandal and gave it to another one. This was a method of legitimizing a transaction in Israel. So the guardian redeemer said to Boaz, do it yourself. Buy it yourself. And he removed his sandal. Then Boaz announced to the elders and all the people, today you are witness that I have bought from Naomi the property of Elimelech and his sons. So in this passage, we see that Boaz is taking on the responsibility and the right of buying Naomi's property. And in so doing, he is taking responsibility for Ruth and Naomi and getting the right to marry Ruth. In their time and place in history, it was customary to seal a contract by taking off your sandal and giving it to the other person in front of witnesses. That was, in the absence of, papyrus or paper, which was very expensive. And I don't even know where the technology was at this time and place in history, but in the ancient Near East and Mesopotamia, you'd take an object. Sometimes it was a scarf. In this case, it was a sandal, which was very dear, right? Very probably hard to come by. A lot of craftsmanship went into that sandal. And you're saying, this deal is so important that I'm going to take off my sandal and give it to you. And this is the physical reminder of our agreement. And these are the witnesses who are going to bear witness to this transaction. So it's like a contract. In this situation, Jewish scholars are kind of split 50-50 whether Boaz took his sandal off to buy the right to have Ruth and Naomi, or whether the other man took his sandal off and gave it to Boaz, transferring his right. But regardless, one of the guys was walking around with one shoe. He gave up his rights, or he took on the responsibility. For Boaz, he gave up his sandal, and he took on the rights and responsibilities of redeeming Ruth and Naomi. And in so doing, he becomes an example to us of how we are to live. To take on the responsibilities of caring for others, to give up some of our rights possibly. And I believe it's a beautiful picture too of what's coming later in the story, where Jesus, instead of giving up his shoe, gives up his life. And he buys the right to take on the responsibility of redeeming his people. And he steps into the broken situation, just how Boaz is stepping into the broken situation of Ruth and Naomi's life and saying, I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to be the one who redeems your property and cares for you and becomes your husband, Ruth. Christ, in his death, gave up his life to say, I'm going to be the one that buys you back. I'm going to be the one who's there for you, for Aaron, for every human. Let these witnesses watch as I give up something physical, my very life, in order to seal a contract. No matter what you've done or what's been done to you or where you have been, Jesus has the right to take on the responsibility of buying you back from brokenness. And that should give us some hope for today. That we are joint heirs with him, that we're partners in buying back what is broken from this world and bringing his restoration. As you go through your day, my prayer is that you'd see opportunities for you to be a Boaz, to take on the responsibility of mending what's broken, to buy something back, to take on the rights of being a redeemer, because that is our legacy as children of God. We're in this world to mend what is broken under our spheres of influence. Love your neighbor. Redeem something today. And may the Lord bless you. That's your fearless word of the day.